right, let's get started. Elon Musk visits Auschwitz concentration camp after anti-Semitism claims. Why did he go there? I don't know. Maybe he was taking notes. Who knows? Okay, he went there with, of course, Ben Shabibo. You know, two fascists at like one of the most important fascist monuments. Okay, a testament to like how devastating fascism can be. Interesting. Interesting that they went there. What were they doing there? I do not know. Okay. Like, this guy is a fucking Nazi himself, basically. Okay. I mean, he is like straight up a white nationalist. And this guy, sure, not anti Semitic, but definitely, unless you're talking about bad Jews, he always does that. But also, you know, hires fascists, is like responsible for a metric ton of like fascist rhetoric. But hey, guys, it's cool. They're pro-Israel, and also, you know, they're at the Auschwitz concentration camp. So, you know, don't worry. Let's completely overlook like the things that they say and do on a daily basis. Now, this person said place of alleged genocide, and I assume they're not actually, as a 38-month subscriber, doing Holocaust revisionism, but I think they're referencing the Stop Anti-Zionism tweet. But you can't get spicy with that. Yes, I know that's what you're trying to say, but you can't be saying shit like that because I don't know what the context is, chatter. Or I mean, I do in this circumstance, but other people don't know. So be careful with what you say. You might get clapped. Now, let me tell you, the person is referencing this this tweet. Okay, I posted about it earlier this morning. There's an account called Stop Zionist Hate. Okay, it was created basically as the opposite of like what was it? Stop Anti-Semitic Hate or whatever. Like the other account that is run by like a psycho. I didn't pay too much attention to this, but a lot of people who are more knowledgeable on the issue were saying that they thought it was strange that they weren't following any Palestinians initially. They were only following like Jackson Hinkle and all these other people, right? And I saw this tweet this morning and I was like, get the fuck out of here. All right. Stop Zionist Hate posts Elon Musk and Ben Shapiro in Auschwitz, a town that allegedly witnessed genocide in the 20th century. Allegedly? Fuck you mean allegedly? That's it. That's all it takes for me. I see that. And I'm like, nope. I know what's going on. Yeah, hold on. 1 second. 1 second, everybody. That's right. My Geiger counter. My Geiger counter's going off. Uh-oh. Hitler particle emission confirmed. Okay, that's it. It's radioactive. I see that. I'm like, nope. That's like, that's a lot of Roentgens, man. That's not like, you know, not good, not bad. Okay, that's too many Roentgens. Okay, I don't know how many Röntgen it is, but it's too many. I'm playing Stalker and you just fuck me up with that? Yeah, audio perverts, you are now dead. Anyway, look. All I'm saying is this is ridiculous. Okay? Bro said allegedly to the Holocaust, there is no faster way to prove you care more about hating Jews instead of protecting Palestinians than doing shit like this. Also, fuck Ben Shapiro and Elon. Their contribution to modern fascism is notable. So, you know, that's crazy. Like, I will probably never look at this account the same ever again. Okay? I hadn't paid close attention to it at all. A lot of people had personally said that what they were interested in is like just, you know, clout or whatever. And the issue is like this space is just occupied by a lot of motherfuckers who are so grifty. Okay? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It just sucks that like uh, so many so many people that pop off in like the supposedly like pro-Palestinian space, like there's a lot of motherfuckers out there who are just trying to get the bag. And I don't know how to deal with it cuz it's like on the one hand, like it's weird because the people are if they're posting like normal things, right? If they're posting normal things that are specifically related to Israel, okay, and they're only talking about like I don't know what Israel's doing in Gaza. If they're like accurately depicting information, that's one thing, right? But if they're openly anti-Semitic and they're also like constantly the only accounts that you see that's posting about Israel is like a psyop, okay? It's a psyop. Like, what are we doing? It's like a perfect demonstration that, you know, a lot of Zionists like to fucking point to, right? To say, look, these guys don't care about Israel. They only care about Israel because it's Jews and they're anti Semitic. And to me, I feel like it's disgusting. It's gross to be anti Semitic to begin with. But then beyond that, it's like, it's both gross on its own because you're a fucking bigot, okay? And then also you're doubly gross because you're undermining the values that you supposedly espouse by, you know, working extra hard to specifically use an active genocide to fucking talk about a secondary agenda of hating Jews. Like, what the fuck? You know? This shit sucks. Like, you can't say allegedly to the Holocaust and then simultaneously, you can't say allegedly to the Holocaust and then simultaneously fucking turn around and be like, but here's the real genocide in Gaza. People now automatically, normal people are going to look at you and go, oh, you're a fucking clown. Like, you don't give a shit. And it's really fucked up. Anyway. Roman statues PFP accounts that a year ago were openly posting about the demise of the white race and after October 7 became the most anti-Zionist out there. Yeah, it's crazy. Here's their apology tweet, apparently. Our point in using the word allegedly was to show the double standards when it comes to discussing atrocities. We don't deny the atrocities of World War II. Zionists and the mainstream media use the word allegedly when reporting on Palestinians being murdered, yet they don't get labeled as anti-Palestinian atrocity deniers. Dude, what the fuck? This is not even a good ass. No, dude, that's crazy. Hey, I was just pretending to be a Nazi is so stupid to show the double standard of like how the media are being Nazis. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Crimes of World War II, not the Holocaust. Like openly state that the Holocaust happened. Okay? It did. You're fucking insane. Listen, listen, listen. Here's how it works. Okay? Here's how it works. There's a very simple telltale sign. There is no easier way to fucking identify that you are dealing with potentially a fascist other than, especially if we're talking about the Western world, right? Like, especially the easiest way to, you know, log somebody or clock somebody for Hitler particles is when they just like start questioning the Holocaust. It's like so profoundly well documented. Okay. It's one of those things where it's like you're climbing a mountain, brother, to get there. And that mountain, that is a hurdle that you must overcome. And that hurdle, you're not climbing that mountain without a shit ton of intensity and real belief that it must not have happened. Okay. Incredibly well documented. There are entire fields dedicated to covering it extensively. Like, it's crazy. It's a matter of historic record. Okay, we're not talking like the atrocities that Genghis Khan dealt with. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. It's not that far. It's not that far off in our history. It's like it happened relatively, uh, it happened relatively recently. You know what I mean? Uh, Nazis are split up into two camps. Some hate Muslims more, so they use Israel as the excuse, and the other ones are the OG Nazis pretending to be down for the Palestinian cause. Is crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah, it's like, dude. Denying the Holocaust is like denying that the fucking water is wet. It is so, like, you can physically see the remnants of it. It's a matter of historic record. It is profoundly well documented. It's just a wild thing. It's just a wild thing to do in general. Okay. So that's crazy. Water literally isn't wet. Okay, shut up. Okay, I should have used a different example. Oh my God. Water makes you wet. Oh my God. I meant if you jump in the water, you will get wet. Okay. Is that better? You guys are the worst. This is my nightmare. Okay. My worst enemies are in here and I'm stuck with them. Okay. Typical song spreading misinformation. Oh, got me again. I'm doing the damn thing. So yeah. Do you think Kanye is humiliating his wife the way he parades her around pretty much naked in public? I low-key do think that. It is a suspicion that I have. I don't want to like go super hard on it, but I do think that he found a clone of his ex-wife and is like ritualistically humiliating her as a substitute for humiliating his ex-wife. It feels like it. I don't think he's like forcing her. It's just very weird. It's very weird. It just smells weird to me. That's it. It smells weird to me. You know what I mean? But I don't want to like get too far into it. I don't know why we're talking about Kanye West. Anyway, whatever. It's just this initiation for her to join the Illuminati. Yeah. She's a lawyer. She definitely has a contract for his humiliation to get the bag. I mean, who knows? But yeah. I think like as I was saying, this kind of stuff is completely unacceptable. It's so funny though, because like the quote tweets of this are either like, the quote tweets on this tweet have been like, wow, they even lost Hassan. Like as though I have any, as though I'm like an anti-Semite. You know what I mean? Like I'm an anti-Semite myself, but this is too much for me. Like that's the attitude that I've seen from like so many accounts with the Israeli flag. And it's wild. I did not even know that they knew I existed. I did not realize that I was like openly an enemy of dudes with the Israeli flag in their bio accounts. Okay. It is pretty funny to think that like I'm an anti-Semitic person, but also simultaneously, even this is like too much anti-Semitism for me. You know what I mean? But this was pretty funny. Disregarding the Holocaust and genocides is what your Turkish brand built on, dog. And it's just a dude stepping on cockroaches. It's like, bro, it's so funny. Like this dude is defending Israel, okay? But then also simultaneously yelling at me about like potential anti-Semitism that he thinks I'm doing while simultaneously calling me a fucking roach. Anyway, there was people like that, and then there were people straight up just being anti-Semitic as well. Okay. Like dudes being like, oh, mathematically, it doesn't make sense how many Jews Hitler killed. Like classic like Holocaust revisionism nonsense. It's just Hitler particles everywhere, dude. It is whoo sheesh. Hitler particles left and right. Why is you being Turkish mentioned all the time nowadays? It wasn't the case before. It's like they discovered it last week and it's an automatic L for them. My friend, I think you know why they keep talking about how Turkish I am. I mean, come on. Like, me being Turkish has absolutely nothing to do with my commentary. Unless I'm, I guess, talking about Turkey, so I have, like, personal experiences in the matter. But, like, I guess it shapes my worldview a little bit. But, like, overall, it's just something you say if you can't actually, like, address the points. But because it's so normalized, Like that kind of commentary is so profoundly normalized in the space online, especially because it's like tangentially, Islamophobic. So like that is the most normalized kind of hatred, right? Um, it kind of goes unnoticed. Like people see that as like a valid retort. Like people will go, "Oh yeah, he called him out. He's right. He is a Turkish Muslim fundamentalist Islamist who loves like Muslim terror. Muslim terror is what he loves. He loves Islamic terror and Islamic dictatorships clearly because he is from one. Um, because he's a defender of an Islamic, mullah-backed. Those YouTube commentary chuds are out of context. What do you mean? Anyway, let's talk about two fascists going to Auschwitz.
Birkenau was divided into smaller sectors, so I mentioned the story of a...
Thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
אל מלא רחמים שוכן במרומים מזהירים.
This is like, by the way, I gotta mention something. There is nothing grosser. I'll put, dude, I will put my entire chest on this, okay? Look, I'm not Jewish, as you guys know, okay? I am Muslim. I'm a Turkish guy, culturally Muslim, not exactly someone who practices Islam. But having said that, okay, as a person who despises fascism and wants to eradicate it, okay, there is nothing grosser to me, at least, and I suspect my friends from every different background will agree with this, that are also anti-fascist. There's nothing grosser than having two dudes, okay, who are unbelievably in support of virtually every kind of fascist movement, okay, going to a fucking concentration camp to do a media op to be like, look at us, guys. Like, you should not be anywhere near the Holocaust concentration camps. Like, you should not be able to use that as a way to do positive PR for yourself. It is wild. In my opinion, this act, especially because like the groups that are facilitating this are doing it in a deliberate way to like whitewash the anti-Semitism accusations launched towards X, which is a platform riddled to the fucking brim with Nazis, right? Like the fact that you would be a Jewish organization that facilitated this is insane, okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You are just weaponizing the memory of the Holocaust to launder the reputation of a dude whose platform is just filled to the fucking brim with Nazis, okay? To the goddamn brim. That's nuts. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Anyway, like to me, I think this is worse than when like who was the basketball player who went to the fucking Holocaust memorial and like took a selfie? Like I think going to the Holocaust memorial and taking like a fucking sexy selfie is disrespectful. This is more disrespectful. Yeah, it was Danny Green, right? Like straight up, I think allowing straight fucking fascists to launder their reputation at the concentration camp, okay, after correct accusations that like they're both either directly hiring anti-Semitic people or allowing anti-Semitism to thrive, like to be able to use the memory of the Holocaust to do PR for this kind of thing is wild to me. okay, is wild. And yes, I know Ben is an Orthodox Jew, okay? I know that. Except Ben has said a shit ton of anti-Semitic things. You know what I mean? Ben has defended anti-Semitism. Ben has defended anti-Semitism for the likes of Ann Coulter, for example, and has openly said, I don't care that she's saying anti-Semitic shit because she's pro-Israel, undeniably. And that's it. That's all I care about. Like, Ben is not hiding his perspective. He does not care if someone is anti-Semitic as long as they're pro-Israel. Okay? It's very odd that people can't see through this. I like how they teamed up for this one. What awful shit do you think the other people in the folding chairs did? I don't know. They're probably just like normal people. It's crazy, man. It's actually crazy. You talking about Shapiro or Glebe? No, I'm talking about Shapiro. Elon is also wearing a kippah. I don't know what the move is there. I don't know what's happening there, but you know. He has also been accused of fueling the anti-Semitic conspiracy theory on X. Bro, this guy literally said, dude, it's so funny. Dude. No, this is so funny. Every time a right-winger says some crazy shit like Jews are doing the great replacement, which is what Elon Musk boosted, right? Remember? Like a couple months ago, he straight up was like, yeah, Jews are doing unlimited immigration in the Western world, and now all those immigrants fucking hate the Jews. Like, guess what? Sucks to suck. I'm like, that's what the Nazis unironically said and kept saying after World War II. Like, you're just directly, it's like Sig Heiling at that point. I know that like liberals love hyper focusing on the aesthetics, but like that's a crazy thing to come back from, to just be like, yeah, that's right. I just went to the Auschwitz, so I'm good now. Like I went to Israel. I said, go ahead, guys, keep pounding Gaza. Shit's fire. It's like, what are we doing? What's going on? This is the memory of one of the most significant crimes of the 20th century, like mechanized murder, and you're just sitting there and you're using that to just be like, nah, dude, I love Jews actually, even though they do a lot of the unlimited immigration in the in the Western world, which I hate. Come on, Jews, don't do that. But also, I don't hate you guys. Okay, sick, man. Cool. I guess that's fine. It's like when Marjorie Taylor Greene had to go to a Holocaust memorial and then write a fucking write an essay on why the Holocaust was bad. You know? Like after posting on Facebook that like Jewish space lasers were responsible for California wildfires. That's sick. Did Elon write a book report too?
Ben, please.
Of course, Ben is like helping Elon revise his like there is not an anti-Semite that's pro-Israel, by the way, of course, that's the qualifier, that Ben Shapiro will not hug and kiss, okay? As long as you are pro-Israel, Ben will 100% will whitewash you, will try to improve your reputation. There is not a guy who cares less about anti-Semitism than Ben Shapiro, okay? Straight up. And now this is also pretty funny because like all the people that will look to my criticism of this and go, oh yeah, Hassan, remember when you platformed a 19-year-old Yemeni dude who I suspect is doing child slavery, systematic rape, and also specifically hates Jews, No, I didn't watch the interview. I don't care what he had to say. I just made up my mind. So he must be all of those things. And I think you're, what you did was really fucked up. You are so much worse than Elon Musk. It's awesome. Because, like, couple things in that circumstance. Okay? Couple things in that situation. Some to remember here. Okay? That dude's life experiences are a little bit different, I think, than motherfucking Elon Musk. You feel me? Like, does not excuse anti-Semitism if he is. Okay? But the notion that, like, that person having anti-Semitic tendencies and, like, Elon Musk as the, richest billionaire on the planet who commands an entire platform of mass communication, openly allowing Nazis to thrive on the platform. I mean, come on. If you're a Jew in the Western world, think about who's impacting your life in, genuine ways. How is that actually going to destroy your life? Allowing and encouraging Nazis to thrive on Twitter and to gain more prominence, get more clout, grow their movement, or the hypothetical 19-year-old who might actually be anti-Semitic, even though he said personally, when I asked him directly, that he has no issue with anyone as long as they are pro-Palestine. I've never read Twitter, so I was shocked about all the transphobic comments I read in the reply to an Elon Musk tweet. Oh, yeah. Shit's popping out there. Yeah, but they don't believe him, LMFAO. I hate it here. And then the European Jewish Association, the Jewish Voice of Europe, got together and conducted a live stream where Ben Shapiro interviewed Elon Musk.
And dear friend,
These guys this is ridiculous, dude. It's like, it's so crazy. Now, of course, I'm not going to watch this whole thing.
It's good to have the memorial, as the plaque says, so that it never happens again.
But it's also like, like I said, it's gross because it's gross for two reasons. One, this is a way to launder Elon Musk's reputation and whitewash his reputation. It's like doing PR by partnering with a Jewish organization that's like, oh no, please, sir, come through. We'll make it so that nobody thinks you're anti-Semitic. Here's an association with the Holocaust too, and how bad the Holocaust was, and now, which is fucking real and very bad, and we're gonna use that historic atrocity to turn around and launder your reputation. That's number one. That's fucked up. Number two, the notion that this is like a never again, like invoking never again in this circumstance, is also additionally gross because it is happening again. Okay? It's happening again, and Israel has used the never again rhetoric at the International Court of Justice specifically to describe why they should be allowed to do it again, this time to someone else. You do not have like a one free let's do genocide card. Like, it doesn't work that way. Okay? It's crazy. Yeah. These motherfuckers mean never again to Jews, not never again to anyone. That's what's so fucked up about this. They will excuse a Holocaust and non-Jews in the supposed name of defending Jews from a Holocaust that's not happening. Yeah, I know. It's just like, you can't, your defense for a potential hypothetical future Holocaust, okay, cannot be to do a genocide in reverse to a population that you have occupied for 75 years that, first of all, does not have the power to do that regardless, okay? And definitely doesn't have the tenacity either. Like, thoughts on the millions of Germans protesting fascism right now after the AfD party was exposed for plotting to expel 2 million ethnics to Africa? Bro, Germany is such a weird place. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know I got some German chatters in here. I feel like Germany is completely insane. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it feels like neoliberal fascism is at the Germany's at the tip of the spear on neoliberal fascism. I feel like they're writing the agenda, right? Because all things considered, Germany has a massive Muslim migrant population, right? Germany has a massive migrant population after World War II. They needed to, beef up industry, and they brought in Turkish migrant workers. Obviously, Western Germany specifically was not denazified. Like, it was not. It was, as a matter of fact, re-Nazified, specifically by the United States of America and Western powers, because they had a much larger goal at hand, the goal of the eradication of communism, right? A specter is haunting Europe. We must defeat communism. That's the real evil here. And who are the greatest commie killers? Well, the Nazis that we didn't kill. You know, they got a lot of combat experience. And my point is, I think, like, Germany is very strange on that front because, like, one, they have one of the higher Muslim refugee populations in Europe, okay? They have a higher Muslim population than other countries in Europe as far as, like, the Turkish diaspora that lives in Germany, okay? And what I find really, really, really strange about this is that in spite of all of that, they have a growing momentum of obviously the AfD and parties such as that are openly fascist. But Turks are more secular Muslims. No, not the Turkish Germans. I think German Turks are becoming increasingly more disillusioned and increasingly more segregated on economic boundaries, and it's causing, I feel like, a lot of German Turks to become more and more reactionary, more and more right wing, and it literally turns into, you know what it is? German Turks, for some weird reason, turn into like the the fundamentalist like Muslims in the UK. Not every Muslim is like that, obviously, in the UK, but some of them go so aggro. They're like way more reactionary than like fucking the Muslim populations and their attitudes towards like towards Islam in the respective host nations, right? Like their nations of origin. This is something I've criticized quite a bit. I've talked about this quite a bit as far as like German Turks, like Turks in diaspora and how fucking pro Erdogan they are, for example. It's like really annoying. Something that Turks back home fucking hate, right? They do not like that at all. And I don't know. I just like it's very odd. Also, no immigrants are voting AfD. No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not. There's like different kinds of there's different kinds of movements growing in a lot of these places. I don't think Turks are voting AfD. Right? I'm just specifically talking about. I was specifically talking about like Muslim diaspora populations and how like aggro they get sometimes. And I think it's because I think it stems from like the racism that they experience and the economic hardships that they experience and the class dynamic that exists there that is racialized, of course, just like in America. The class dynamic is racialized heavily between, black and brown populations and the white population. And I feel as though that is part of the reason why people identify with more reactionary attitudes. And they get defensive. They posture defensively. And I'm a firm believer in integration. For all of America's faults and failures, they do a relatively decent job. This country's done a relatively decent job in immigration. It can do significantly more, of course, but there is very real integration in the United States of America, especially by the third generation. Instead of creating economic enclaves that also then feed back into that same cycle of just despising the rest of the population and the rest of the population despising them, because that's where it's born out of usually. I think that I think that it's just becoming a dangerous prospect. Having said that, there are no real options. There are no real leftist options. There are no real actual progressive communist socialist alternatives. Okay? Especially in a place like Germany. I mean, you've seen the German anti-fascist movement. They were breaking down the doors of a bakery for hosting a talk for Palestinians and dumping pig fat. That's what their anti-fascists are doing. And I just feel I don't want to make jokes, but I do feel the some of these German fascists, anti-fascists have one speed. They don't know how to do anti-fascism. Perhaps that's what happens when you wipe out the partisans and all the Jewish socialists and trade unionists in your fucking country during the Holocaust. And then you don't have a real institutional leftist momentum there. And the dudes that think that they're doing leftist progressive momentum are just being insanely racist. They don't know what they're doing. They don't got the internet. So, yeah. I think they just get mad, and when you don't have any mechanism of pushback as well as with no logic of materials analysis, all you can do is become reactionary. Yeah. That's a subsect of German Antifas. I'm just saying it's odd when you got anti-fascists who claim that they're anti-fascists, and then what they're doing is dumping pig fat on a bakery that hosted a pro-Palestinian talk. That's the most psychotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's you're insanely racist. It's also ironic because pig fat is also not kosher either. It's not it's anything. It doesn't do anything to the Muslims. The idea that pig fat is going to somehow make Muslims perish is insanely stupid and racist. But yeah, it's anti-Deutsche, right? Anti-Germans political current. That's the movement. Anti-Deutsch is the generic name applied to a variety of theoretical and political tendencies within the left in mainly Germany and Austria. The anti-Germans form one of the main camps in the broader Antifa movement alongside the anti-Zionist, anti-imperialists after two currents split between the 1990s and the early 2000s as a result of their diverging views on Israel. The anti-Germans are a fringe movement within the German left. In 2006, Deutsche Welle estimated the number of anti-Germans to be between 500 and 3,000. The basic standpoint of the anti-Germans includes opposition to German nationalism, a critique of mainstream left anti-capitalist views, which are thought to be simplistic and structurally anti-Semitic. Wait, what? They think anti-capitalism is anti-Semitic? Okay, these guys are literally, okay. All right, never mind. That's pretty funny. This is the classic, okay, yeah, that's full circle. That's full circle, baby. No, that's literally anti-Semitic. Saying anti-capitalism is inherently anti-Semitic is an anti-Semitic statement. Why? Because you're automatically saying, oh, you mean bankers? Yeah, that's right. You mean Jews, which is an insane thing to say because it's inherently the exact opposite of what anti-capitalists are saying. I love this, dude. I love these guys. They're fucking awesome. Hey, man, that Geiger counter is coming in handy again. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. That Hitler particle's going crazy, dude. Hitler particles detected again. It's pretty funny for Germans to say that anti-capitalism is actually secretly anti-Semitic. Why is that additionally funny? Because, dude, that's like one, it has the underlying premise that like all Jews are somehow powerful bankers. That's number one. And number two, no, it was the partisan Jews in the KPD that was resisting the Nazi movement. And then you fucking killed them. Like your grandfather literally killed them. What are you saying? It's insane to have your own grandpappy play a role in the execution of communist, socialist, trade unionist, Jews, and non-Jews alike, okay? And then using the same exact arguments that your grandpappy used. But this time, it's like for supposedly in defense of Jewish people. That's cool. Yeah, this was what I was talking about with the pig fat. These guys went in. The German pro-Israeli Antifa attacked a bakery run by leftists with migrant background with pig fat for hosting pro-Palestinian leftist organizations. Okay. Someone said to me that first generation migrants are more docile because they're new and don't want to risk anything, but second gen see more as troublemakers, not because they come from migrant families, but because they're acting more like the citizens of that country, but it's a problem because they're seen as migrants. It's actually a really interesting take. Sure. Germans are unironically invoking their Nazi grandfathers to make that argument. German elites have convinced themselves that they get anti-Semitism in a way that Jews simply can't. They seem to have gained enlightenment through genocide. An example. When Der Spiegel did a bizarre takedown of Greta Thunberg, the only climate activist in the entire world they could find who didn't support Palestine was Luisa Neubauer, a leader of Fridays for Future in Germany. Neubauer was ready to accuse the entire climate movement of anti-Semitism. How does she know? Is she particularly close to Jewish culture? Has she been a scholar of anti-Jewish discrimination? No. The only qualification she referred to is that her great-grandfather from the Reemtsma dynasty was an SS member who donated huge sums to the Nazi party. Inheriting a ton of money from Nazis seemingly offers a unique education and liberal humanist values. I've heard this before, that like Germans think that they have a unique experience with the Holocaust because they did it, right? Or because their grandparents did it. And I didn't realize it was actually something that they openly say. Guys, I know a thing or two about the Holocaust because my great grandparents did it directly, right? Like they supported it. So I know it's like, yeah, but you know in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Like you don't know in the right direction. Here's a great example, okay? Apartheid South Africa, post-apartheid South Africa, they know what it's like to withstand ethnic cleansing campaigns and exist under an apartheid because that's in the right direction. Those are like the victims, right? Those are the victims that took power. Like, and now they're the ones who are launching this investigation. So having the guys that did the Holocaust partner up with Israel to yell at the guys who withstood their own ethnic cleansing campaign to be like, no, you don't understand. We know how to do the Holocaust real good is not exactly the argument that you want to present. Okay? Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's the old joke. My grandpa died in Auschwitz when he fell off the guard tower. Yeah. That's like, It literally, that is literally what they're saying. She's saying that. If you argue with them, they love to say, well, you just don't understand how evil Germans are. No, I understand it. Okay? I understood it historically, and I fucking understand it now. Okay? No, I perfectly understand it. Oh, I understand it. Let me tell you. Like, I've never, like, I like Germany. Okay? I will reluctantly admit this. As a Turkish person, Berlin, Kreuzberg, many parts of Germany have a massive Turkish diaspora. I visited many times, okay? And like, while I'm not super fond of the boxy architecture in East Germany, I do think that they have great doner. You know, this is like, it just makes me really sad to see how intensely these guys have been like pro-Israel in the most racist ways you can be. You said you don't like Germany before, that it's your least favorite place to visit. I think it's boring. I've said that. But overall, I love the food. The donut is really good. And I do feel a sense of closeness due to how large the Turkish diaspora is there. Okay? But it is definitely... Yeah, I'm not a fan of brutalist architecture. It definitely is not great. It's not. They're not doing a great job this year. Hasi, the International Labor Bundism is the perfect leftist counter to irredentist Zionism. Yeah. I think like I think the way I see it, dodging the tanky allegations, I hate brutalist architecture. I think it's kind of boring. And I don't like brutalist architecture. I like the utility of it, and I want everyone to have a house, but I don't like brutalist architecture. That's fine. That's fine. Saying a whole country is boring is kind of stupid. Dude, it's always going to be reductive. Don't lean into it too much. It doesn't mean anything all that significant, okay? In 1962, the Socialist German Democratic Republic mapped every West German ambassador with links to the Nazi Party, revealing a stark political continuity and a clear failure to denazify. What we are seeing now is among the many consequences of the West's victory in the Cold War. Yeah. This is 100% true. Okay? I've talked about this before. Bez D. Marx has done a phenomenal job. I believe they're a German socialist. They've done a phenomenal job of like talking about how they've done a phenomenal job of how the German government re-Nazified instead of actually denazifying after World War II at the behest of NATO and the United States of America specifically, for reasons that I just described to you. It's like part of the reason why they're Swiss. Okay. Is part of the reason why I am not too fond of NATO as well historically. And the thing is, however, there's a lot of spots. There are a lot of spots where people are voting for AfD in East Germany too, because it's always the same principle. It's economic volatility. Okay. Like since the reunification, and the dissolution of the USSR, AfD has grown in power and in momentum. AfD has grown in power and in momentum in Eastern Germany. Okay? This is true. The point is, it grows in power and momentum because, one, there's no real socialist alternative, both in the East or West. And two, there's a lot of economic instability, especially in the East. Okay? The whole world got Nazified when the U.S. decided to not make illegal Nazi propaganda. And when the USSR and NATO kept all the Nazi engineers, it's not even just the Nazi engineers. Like, it's literally not paperclip. It's not. Paperclip is greatly overstated. I like to joke about it as well. But this is, in my opinion, this is significantly more important. Like, NATO openly, deliberately aligning with anti-communists who were Nazis, right? Because they were the best, most effective, like anti-communists, is a legacy that still very much exists to this day. It was 1,000%. It was 1,000% something you saw in the American State Department as well. Like, we had a lot of people who were kind of fashy in both the CIA and the FBI, American fascies who just hated communism. And we still do, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, historically speaking, people were, like, once communism was presented, once Chad is shocked to find out that the U.S. had former Nazis in their ranks. I've never heard about this. Yeah, but it's not just Operation Paperclip, right? And the USSR did a version of this as well, but not to the same degree as the United States, 100% for the record. But yeah, Gordon Liddy is a prime example, 100%. But my point is, it's something. It's bigger than just Operation Paperclip. It's more so that, like, ideologically, once we decided that communism was the real villain here, right, and socialism was the real villain because it was a threat to capital, like, the people that we elevated into positions of power in all of our institutions were fashy as hell, because those are the guys who hate communism the most. That's it. Also, a lot of Nazis just stayed in power in Germany after World War II due to a lack of evidence because, of course, they hid their crimes. Yeah. Little addendum, the AfD is a deeply neoliberal party, and they don't even deny it in their electoral manifesto. They don't differ too much from their OG post-Reich Nazi party, NPD, but their rhetoric is a lot more bourgeoisie than outright fash. Well, because they can't be outright fascist. That's why they also substitute the Nazi sloganeering for Weimar Germany, right? Like, this is the reason why they use the old German flag, for example. They fly it because they are not allowed. It is illegal for them to be openly fascist, openly Nazi. So, yeah, they use the Imperial German flag, I think, right? So this is all of this is just stuff to consider when analyzing why Germany is the way it is and trying to develop a better understanding of why post World War II a lot of people took positions that they took, and how that is still impactful in our culture to this day. Because you can draw a direct line from post-World War II attitudes in the Western world. The America-led Western world in the aftermath of World War II were defenders of capitalism, global capital, right? And they saw the USSR and its influence as dangerous, very dangerous, a threat to capital, which is understandable because it was a threat to capital. And in that interest, in the continuation of that interest, they went as far as to align with the most rugged anti-communists out there. And those guys were always fascists. And the direct line you can point to between that is the SS Galicia Division Ukrainian veteran who voluntarily joined the Foreign Legion of the Nazis, who ironically considered Ukrainians to be Slav dogs, by the way, just as all of the other Eastern European countries that they invaded and killed a shit ton of people in. Okay. How do you get a guy who was a literal Nazi to get a standing ovation in the Canadian Parliament? Well, that guy was a literal Nazi, a part of the SS Division's foreign squadron, but he came to Canada because he was a anti-communist. That's how he was able to operate. Yeah, sure, he was a Nazi, but he was anti-communist, and we hate communism way more than we hate Nazism. Anyway. He was brought into Ontario to be a strike breaker for the mines. Abi Kanada'da mı Amerika'da mı yaşamak için? Yeah, we'll do the Texas razor wire story in a second. We'll do the Supreme Court story. All right. So why did I talk about all this? Because, you know, fascists in neoliberal America and in the Western world have always made for good bedfellows with the supposed liberals who would never, they hate white supremacy, they hate racism, they hate bigotry of all sorts, but simply just end up, you know, aligning with that kind of thing when push comes to shove. The notion, I can't believe you just said racist shit in Turkish, like we didn't talk about this 2 days ago. You would have a lot more fun in Berlin if you were gay, to be honest. Yeah, probably. I mean, look, you might not agree with a lot of Stalin's opinions, behaviors, but if there is a prescient take from him, it is the notion that if you cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds. It's just historically how that has worked. And he was right on that front. Because what is fascism but capitalism in decay? Capitalism in crisis brings about fascism because fascism is seen as a way to at least restore order by force when capitalism is in crisis. All right. We're going to move on from Elon Musk, even though there is some funny. The one last thing that is funny about Elon Musk is this. Here it is. Mr. Beast. So Mr. Beast, Elon Musk has been sucking off Mr. Beast for like a while now, begging him to post on Twitter, now known as X. So Mr. Beast went and posted an older video. And if you are a Twitter user, it is virtually impossible for you not to have seen this video. Because the video was on everyone's timeline a million times over. I counted at least 7 times that I can recall that I saw the video. I never watched it, but I saw it. Okay, over and over and over again. And the impressions, of course, are a meaningless metric, but I firmly believe that this video was elevated because it was supposed to be like the first time that a massively influential brand chose to post on Twitter publicly. And so Mr. Beast posted an older video on Twitter and then even tweeted about like, how much money do you think it made? It made $263,000. Now, do I believe it? Do I believe it? Or do I believe that this is like extra padded stats? I believe that it was extra padded. This has shown up on my feed maybe 7 times now. It's both missing the post time next to the username, indicative of a normal user post, and the ad indicator on the top right. So is there a third secret type of post you get when you're a YouTuber and Elon wants you to post here? Like this video 100% was artificially boosted. Okay. I know that it was artificially boosted because it was presented on my timeline like it was an ad. Upon closer inspection, seems like it definitely is a non-disclosed ad because you can hit the tab and you can like hide it, and you can hide it like an ad. So for me, it was obvious that Elon Musk was doing that. Okay. It's obvious that Elon Musk was doing that. And, you know, congratulations on Mr. Beast for getting the bag. He got $250,000, which is probably nothing for him, right? And he said, but it's a bit of a facade. My first X video made over $250,000, but it's a bit of a facade. Advertisers saw the attention it was getting and bought ads on my video, I think, and thus my revenue per view is probably higher than what you'd experience. And it's really funny. It's really funny that like after Elon did all of this, he still got it's a bit of a facade. Right? After all of this, like obvious pumping and maybe even like giving him both extra attention, like giving extra eyeballs of the video, and maybe even giving him like extra money for no particular reason other than the fact that he sees this as a marketing campaign for content creators to go and post on Twitter. He's still got he's still got, it's a bit of a facade. Okay. Now, let me tell you, Jimmy, Mr. Beast Donaldson, okay, I'll use his government name for you. He loves Elon, I think. I mean, it makes sense. Elon is seen as like an aspirational figure for someone like Jimmy. He's a businessman, okay? But if there's one thing that James, Mr. Beast Donaldson cares about more than anything else is analytics. So I'm telling you right now, okay? He knows this is bullshit. This is his way of, I guess, managing and being polite and saying something along the lines of like, yeah, it's probably the reason why I got more revenue here is because maybe advertisers wanted to buy the video personally and like the numbers are not good. Okay? But like, I think if he were to be honest, he would 100% be like, yeah, this is not like a valuable data point at all. Okay? Also, assuming YouTube pays Mr. Beast less than 1K per million views, he didn't even get as much dollars from this as he did on YouTube. There's 215 million views on YouTube that, which would be more than 250K. No, I don't think so. No, 1K for 1 million is like, I mean, these are impressions. They're not even views, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's giving the 250K away, obviously. Classic. Apparently, there's a pre-roll ad, which then Twitter used to boost the video is attached to. So the video itself isn't an undisclosed ad, but it's a skeezy way to juice the Mr. Beast video and make it appear to outperform. All I'm saying is this: I've never seen a Twitter video appear on my timeline that many times. Okay? I've never seen that. I have never seen that. And I think it was specifically because Elon Musk wanted to, as someone who is also fascinated by analytics, as someone who is a person who is obviously in this space as well, you know, I don't just serve you the top of the hour ad break, which by the way, I'm not going to serve you right now. I'm just giving you a 1 minute because I forgot to run the 3 minute ad break, but I'll give you the top of the hour ad break at the top of the hour. Don't forget. Okay. I just did a 1 minute one now. But as someone who's in this space, I am, you know, I'm aware of how these things work. And I think that Elon Musk, my speculation is that I think Elon Musk pumped this video because I saw it so many different times on my timeline. This is purely anecdotal, but other people were reporting similar experiences. And so I think the impressions are significantly higher than they normally would be if you were to post a regular old video on Twitter. And also on top of that, I think the revenue that he generated is also most likely fake as well. From Elon's perspective, he does this because it's a wonderful ad. It's a wonderful ad to get other content creators to go and follow suit. Mr. Beast is a tastemaker, okay? He is a industry giant when it comes to online content. He has almost single-handedly changed the way that like all of the mass producers of content on YouTube operate. People even call it the Mr. Beast effect. People get mad at it sometimes. They're like, oh, these are so overly professional, like overtly professional made like content. And, you know, YouTube is not the same anymore and we can't compete, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's Mr. Beast. Like it, hate it, doesn't matter. Mr. Beast did that, right? That is a testament to his impact. He changed the game. Elon Musk, of course, wants that on his platform because Elon Musk wants that on his platform because obviously other creators will follow suit. So I think in this circumstance, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a marketing technique. And I don't think that the numbers are valid at all. Also, Twitter Premium is a bit of a Ponzi scheme. The vast majority of users will pay $13 a month or however much it costs now for the promise of being able to earn revenue, but receive way less than $13 in revenue, thus earning Twitter free profit. Yeah. But yeah, it's a double whammy because like I think Mr. Beast probably likes Elon still. Like he doesn't despise Elon like most of us do, I assume. So yeah. I can confirm I saw an ad of you on your video. I will run a similar test so we can compare numbers. I received your video a couple times as an ad. Haha. Appreciate you calling that out. I wonder what. See, look. Every content creator here. One thing I will tell you about content creators is this. Okay. Those at the tippy top didn't get there always by accident. Okay. No, they're not falling for it at all. No. If you think Jack, Courage, Dunlop, doesn't know what the fuck happened here, I got a bridge to sell you. Okay? If you think Tim the Tap Man doesn't know what happened here, I got a bridge to sell you. Every single person knows exactly what happened. Every single top content creator knows what happened in this situation. Okay? Come on, dog. Jack is literally a fucking analytics demon. So is Mr. Beast. These guys are hounds at analytics. Okay? They're being very polite in the way that they're describing the situation because they don't want to like offend. Why would you want to offend a guy who gave you $263,000? Okay, obviously. And then there's of course Nick Merckx who said, "That's a W, bro. Now go put all that on Kansas City plus 3.5 in Baltimore and double your money." Yeah. This is like, these guys are analytics gooners. Okay. Except for Nick. I think he is being serious. So, yeah. That's what's going on. What is this? How is he so dumb? Immediately after Elon Musk visited Auschwitz, he replied to a post that echoes talking points popular among neo-Nazis and white supremacists who originated the White Lives Matter slogan and who cite "Kill the Boer," an anti-apartheid struggle song, as evidence of white genocide. According to Wikipedia, "Kill the Boer," anti-apartheid song, White Lives Matter, neo-Nazi slogan. That's insane. Yeah, he's like, I don't think a lot of people understand what he's doing here, okay? From Elon Musk's perspective, he's like, no, I did the thing. Come on, Jews. I did the thing. Come on, let me have this now. Like, that's it. Like he's like, what do you want? I went to Auschwitz. What do you want? The fuck do you want? Now I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do, you know? That's like from his framework, he's like, yeah, no, of course, I'm not going to stop being fucking racist. I'm just going to be like, not as overtly anti-Semitic. Like it's a perfectly transactional situation here. Yeah, he thinks he did a racism carbon offset. This is his trade, exactly. And you know my man loves credits, carbon credits, okay? That's all he operates in. Do you understand? So he thought he was getting a racism carbon offset. You're absolutely correct, chatter. Just need Jonathan Greenblatt honoring him with an ADL award or something. Yeah. So yeah. All right. All right, we did the advertiser a boost from Elon himself. Yeah, what the fuck? Elon literally gave you all our ad rev because we got nothing, LeMaFayal. The best part about it is that one, this is such a funny moment because like one, Elon Musk didn't get his money's worth here because like Mr. Beast is calling it a facade and saying that there's a little bit of like fuckery going on with the numbers. Doing it politely, but still, come on. And now every blue check mark is mad at Elon Musk. I'm going to say Mr. Beast is an analytics demon. There's no way he's going to post this like, can't believe how valid and untainted. Holy shit, Coffee's just going to take down Elon Musk. Wait, what? Why was he having people guess the amount of dollars he made anyway? This is why it makes it extra funny that right-wing freaks will report your tweets so you don't make money off them, and it's like 30 cents. Yeah, it's extra funny. It's extra funny because I do not ever give my payment information to Twitter. I would not trust Elon Musk's platform with my payment information at all. I don't believe it's safe, and I don't care about the revenue that I would generate off of Twitter from my posts. So it's so funny because like the community notes on my tweets nowadays are like, I'll just make a joke or something. Like I'll be like, man, this guy really is out here doo-dooing in their butt. And then like the quote to you would be like, actually, there's no proof that this person has ever had a caca in their diaper. And then it's like a link to some Wikipedia page or something. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what happened? Who are you owning? Source, wikipedia.com/poop. Anyway. So, do you think X is done if Biden wins? Wait, what? No, X is done regardless, no matter what happens. Your Ron DeSantis nickname options were justified in this poll? It was, my little Rhonda was in the additional though. Yeah, these are my two. Meatball Ron was the best one, and then Little Rhonda was the second best one. This was my favorite community note. Elon said it's fake. Yeah. X goes bankrupt as soon as the loan Elon took comes to term. Is worth 20% of what he bought for. I don't know how that works though. I don't know how that works, honestly, for someone who is a billionaire. You know what I mean? Anyway, this has slowly become my least favorite poll of all time. By the way, the Harvard caps the Harris poll, I feel like is one of the most insane polls of all time. Obviously, their methodology is solid. However, the one part of that is not solid, in my opinion, is like the way they ask questions, specifically as it pertains to Israel. Okay? Like everything else is fine, right? Everything else is fine. And it's obviously a very reliable poll overall. But the one thing that is like insanely unhinged is whenever they talk about Israel-Palestine, they'll be like, do you want, the only two options that are available will be like, do you think Israel is small bean, or do you think Hamas genociders should ethnically cleanse all Jews from the area? And then people will be like, well, I don't know, which is like the analog for being pro-Palestine? I guess the other one. And then you click on the other one, and then like news articles will come out and be like, 75% of 18-year-olds in the country want to ethnically cleanse all Jews from the region. Like, it's like, that's not a good poll, man. Those are not reasonable answers. But beyond that, it's like their methodology has sucked for a while now. 45% of Democrats supporting Dobbs. Great poll. What's going on with Harris just putting out total junk over the past year? Oh, wait. What are they saying? People who design websites do not have a design a website for a gay wedding. The president did not have the authority without congressional vote to forego $400 billion. Abortion laws should be left to states instead of being a national constitutional right. 56%. 44% say wrong. Wait. Where is it? Where does it say this? Look at the Dems number. Dem column. The president did not have the authority. People to design websites. Abortion laws should be left to the states instead of being a national constitutional right. 45% of the Democrats said yes to that. That's insane. Yeah, okay. No. This is just like, you are not asking the right question if you're getting that result. Okay? I'm sorry. That is so inconsistent. And for the record, that's not even like a little inconsistent. That is like in the opposite direction, okay, of inconsistency. Yeah, no, that is a really, really convoluted way of asking that question that probably confused people. There's no fucking way. Favorability of political figures, by the way. God, this is the best. RFK Jr., Musk, and Haley enjoy the highest net favorability. Elon Musk still has one of the highest favorabilities. Donald Trump has the highest very favorable metric here, by the way, on the list. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at 14% and 35% favorability. Donald Trump, most passionate fan base in the game, as you guys know. Same with Elon Musk, very high passionate fan base. Joe Biden has a very high passionate fan base as well. I guess in comparison to Elon Musk and whatnot, but like nothing comes near Donald Trump. You got RFK at 14% and then 35% favorable. That is crazy. Plus 18. Donald Trump is 0% because it's a half and half type situation where he here, this is important. Here, what's important here with the Donald Trump number is that he still has an incredibly passionate fan base, right? But then he also has more people who are very passionately haters of him. Okay? So that is something to remember, okay? You know this graph ain't worth shit when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are seen as equally favorable? No, that makes sense. These are like the rugged, diehard Democrats. These are the older voters in the party. But remember, Joe Biden's disapproval is higher, so he's at a minus 14%. Harris had an R+6 for 2022 midterms. Wait, what? The Harris-Harvard CAPS poll should be treated like Trashfalgar. He's a noted right-wing hack and constantly has Trump's favorability around -3, which is just blatantly false. Also an R+6 generic ballot guy for 2022. I just need to hear it. Is Trump going to be president again? I'm listening, but I'm sick to my stomach with anxiety. Well, don't be anxious. There is a likelihood that Trump might be president again, but 100% likelihood that you will see an ad break at the top of the hour. So gear up towards that ad break by subscribing for $5 or for free at the top of the hour so you don't see that 3-minute ad break. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. How are people arguing with the survey? It's literally just presenting what people said. What do you mean? Half of the people don't even understand what these questions mean. My friend, the entire point of a survey is to ask clear questions. Okay? Like, the abortion issue can be presented in a million different ways. If it's presented as, do you support murdering babies? And then that's a substitute for, like, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, for example, then that survey design is incredibly flawed. Having a conversation surrounding the questions is profoundly important, especially when a survey result shows a massive difference in comparison to probably one of the most polled issues in this election cycle. In this election cycle, one of the most surveyed, most polled issues is abortion. If you see that majorly of a difference in the way that Democrats think about abortion, that means you fucked up on the question. You did not actually write a appropriate question. Anyway. Yeah, and I've seen this on, like, obviously I've joked about this with, like, their Israel-Palestine polling that is so disingenuous. They'll be like, do you support Hamas and the Islamic Caliphate, or do you support Israel? Like, that's not a way to ask that question. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, people need an option to pick that the Palestinian population and their plight in this circumstance. They're the ones who are the victims, right? So yeah, if you ask that question, they're going to be like, yeah, okay, you know, all glory to the martyrs. Let's inshallah restore the Islamic Caliphate. Like, I love Hamas. Like, that's the way that people fucking pick it. And that's not a good way to conduct a study. You didn't learn anything.
Damn, this guy's good.